Hey there, I'm Rowan. I'm a senior student midwife, and today I'm going to be demonstrating two manual techniques of controlling postpartum hemorrhage. First off being bimanual compression, and the second being aortic compression. So, first with bimanual compression, or both of these procedures really, your patient may or may not be fully conscious at this point. In my experience, most of the time they're not, but we can and should still talk through the process and kind of let them know what's going on as much as possible, because these are both, mostly bimanual compression is quite invasive and intense. This is my patient. Their head is up here, and this is their uterus, their abdomen, their fundus, and this is their pelvis down here. So I would go ahead and say, hey, your bleeding is continuing, and I really need it to stop. We really need it to stop, so I'm going to go ahead and do something called bimanual compression. I do have to put my fist inside, but we really got to do this to get your bleeding under control, okay? So you would go ahead and take, with a sterile glove on, with one hand, go inside of the vagina with like a couple fingers, followed by the rest of the hand into the vagina, and then ultimately you're going to make like a fist inside. And you're going to be inside the uterus with this hand, and then with the other hand externally, you're going to be applying pressure to the fundus. So you're creating compression between these two hands, internally and externally, as a manual way of creating like uterine tone to stop the bleeding. So here we are doing, this is bimanual compression, okay? You can kind of see like a visual from the outside. It's basically like this. You're holding those blood vessels tight to hopefully slow the bleeding between the fundus and your hand. And then for aortic compression, we are creating a fist to externally apply pressure. This is going to be the abdomen up here, to the aorta, which runs from the heart down through the abdomen and then branches off into two sections down into the pelvis, which are the femoral arteries. So first, you're going to find the femoral pulse on the patient, which is located on their pelvis, like on their pubis, kind of down next to the pubic bone, right here. So you can feel the femoral pulse kind of in between where the pubis stops and the thigh starts. So you want to identify that so that you recognize, you want the two pulses, the pulse that you're pushing on up here and the one down here to match up. And then you want to eventually feel this pulse kind of start to fade a little bit once you're doing the compression, so that you can confirm that you've stopped the blood flow. So you're going to make a fist with your thumb on the outside, like this, so that the shape of your hand is like these metatarsal bones on the top are nice and flat and even, because that's the tool that we're going to use to then find the aorta, which is basically just above the umbilicus, kind of slightly to the left, but as long as you can go above the umbilicus right here, okay? So let's say we've identified the femoral pulse. This is the umbilicus. We're going just above there, and we're going to apply steady, even pressure all the way down until you can actually feel the hard, bony part of the backbone. When you do this on a real person, you'd be surprised at how much pressure you can apply, and you'll feel and even see probably your arm kind of pulsating with the aortic pulse. And you'll feel the correlation between the femoral and the aortic pulse that you're feeling. So even steady pressure, you're still palpating the femoral pulse, and you're just holding it there until the bleeding stops. And yeah, you wanna, it's surprising how much you can go down, but you just keep that fist there all the way down to the bony part of the spine, and then you can stop there, and as much as you can, confirm that it's effective, And yeah, that's bimanual compression and aortic compression. Thanks so much for watching.